And we are live. So I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there, but I'm just really happy to know that we are finally live. We're having a few little technical difficulties, but thank you for joining us in spite of our little glitches on this end. My name is Ann Perry. I am a professional numerologist, and I have a Master Number 11 membership group, which is open to anyone and everyone, regardless of whether you have a Master 11 in your chart or not. It does not matter. You're more than welcome to join us because it's all about your evolution and serving the energetically sensitive. And so today, my guest is a very good friend of mine, Fiona Black. Hey, Fiona. Good to see you.
Hey.
I'm so happy you were able to join us tonight.
Me too.
Fiona and I have done a few programs together, and we have an event coming up on Monday, February the 28th at 3 p.m. Eastern time in the Master Number 11 membership. But we wanted to give you kind of a heads up as to what the heck we're going to be talking about. So first of all, Fiona, I want you to share with our audience. Hey, Beth, let's share with the audience, what exactly do you do? I know you've been my coach for a couple of years and just blown me away. Absolutely. I've done every program that Fiona's offered and then some, probably a couple of times, but she's really quite amazing. She is a true transformational coach. So why don't you share with us what you do, and then we'll talk about what we're going to be doing.
Sure. Thank you for that beautiful intro. So I'm a transformational coach, and I really specialize in working with the Akashic Records. So the Akashic Records is like a cosmic Google. It's like a huge, big energy and information storage point where you can find out and access information about your soul, the experiences that you've had, the choices that you've made, not just in this lifetime, but in lifetimes previous from the point of origin. So it's kind of mind-blowing as to how much energy we can access from the Akashic Records. And you don't have to be special to access these records. You have access to them. They're just a different aspect of your frequency. So I access the records with a very clear intention of understanding and seeing who you are at a soul level. So I'm looking at the energy, that essence energy that makes you that unique soul that you are. Mm-hmm. And the gifts and the challenges that you have with that unique energy, because we live in a polar world. We have to have, with a gift, you have a challenge. And quite often we learn most about who we are by being who we're not. That's just how us humans tend to learn, right?
Oh, true. So true.
Yeah. And so I get to read, or I actually feel information. So I download information through my felt sense as to the energy that your unique energy and what you bring to the world. And then we look at past and present life choices that may be preventing you from really stepping into the fullest, most authentic version of who you desire to be. So that's the work that I do.
And I did your soul realignment program, I don't know, a couple of years ago now, I think. And in that, you discovered for me on my behalf that I'm a blueprint technician. And to me, it was like, what? Like, of course I'm a blueprint technician. It just totally made sense. But I had some real resistance in growing my business. I had a real fear of introducing myself as a numerologist. It's okay to say, hey, I'm Ann Perry, but please don't ask me what I do for a living, I had a real fear around that, and you were able to really enlighten me on that and help me to be tapped into a past life where I was persecuted, killed for my craft, right?
Yeah.
So we were able to release those contracts, I guess is the best way I can put it.
Yeah, and I think that most people have those experiences, right? So the blueprint technician aspect is your, it's your soul group. It's who. It's where you've been before you came to Earth, and it's a natural gift that you have. And when you come to Earth and you feel very different, you feel like you are not the same as other people, we begin to think that maybe our gift means that, there's something wrong with us, or that, we're not okay when we start feeling this from a really, really young age. And so we begin to hide our authentic nature. We begin to, shut that aspect of ourselves down. But really, as we, as our consciousness develops and we grow, what we begin to realize is that our uniqueness is that very thing that we were afraid of, or that very thing that we push down. Our unique aspect of who we are is the very thing that we're here to deliver, to express, to be, that self-expression of our deepest truth. And it can be scary to do that because, there's judgment, there's fear about what people are going to say, and like you say, in past lives, we've literally been persecuted for being who we are.
Yeah.
And so, there's those wounds to move through. But what is beautiful about doing this work is that you don't clear just for yourself, you clear for your family, you clear for your lineage, but you clear for humanity. You know, you clear on that bigger sense. So it's really big work to do to step into the Akashic record clearing work.
I think, it's true. We're all born believing that we're divinely perfect because, we come from our mother's womb where every need we ever had is being met, and then we leave that womb and we come out into the world. And what's the first thing we do? We cry. Why are we crying? Well, we cry because we have a need and we figured someone's going to meet it because someone always did, right? And typically, usually that need is being met. So we believe that we're divinely perfect until someone says we're not. And I always say, as soon as our children are exposed to things like TV, in between those well-crafted TV shows are commercials designed to tell you that you're not good enough unless you have that.
Yeah.
So constantly, think about in the course of the day, how many times we're being exposed to advertisement that is designed to tell us that we're not good enough. And we might have had an experience as a child where we're told we weren't good enough, whatever. At some point in time, many of us choose to believe we're not good enough. And I feel that we get further and further away from who we are meant to be. And we hide behind those, the disguise, the imposter syndrome. I mean, I suffered from the imposter syndrome for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. Until I found the courage to just do me,
Yeah.
It's a whole lot easier being me than somebody else, I find.
Yeah.
Right.
It reminds me, actually, I just saw something just really briefly, and it was Jim Carrey talking about depression. And he said this so eloquently. It was, he talked about depression as being, you need the deep rest from holding up the avatar that you've been trying to be. And I was like, yes, that is it's mind blowing. You've been trying and working so hard to be and do this person that you thought you should for your mom, for your dad, for society. I don't know who for, you'll have your own reasons. And it's exhausting trying to be who you're not. It's exhausting being who you're not. And then we go through this process of finding who we are. And that can be exhausting too, because it's a destructive process. It's a process of letting go and breaking down and putting down the masks. And then that free, joyous self, that inner child, that, that essence that we were born with gets to come out to play. But we gotta the cement has to fall off first.
Yes, so many layers of that mask that has to come off.
Yeah,
absolutely. And we spend so much time in there. I mean, and the audience that you and I cater to, that we try to nurture and help to coach and such, are typically energetically sensitive people.
Yeah,
right. And they're very tapped into how everybody else feels, and sensitive to what people think of them. And then in comes the whole people pleasing.
Yeah.
Persona that many people will take on, and that doesn't get you anywhere. Right?
No, it's exhausting, and it does. You are giving away your power. We give away our power when we try to please someone else or try to be someone for someone else that we're not. It's essentially disempowering for us, but ultimately it's actually disempowering for them too, because the energy with which you're giving to them, it's not transparent, it's not clear, it's not true, so it's a shittier energy, it's not clean. And when you give someone else unclean energy, it just creates more unclean energy. And so this piece about giving our power away, I look at it right from that from the energetics. It's like, how does this make me feel when I do this thing or say yes to this thing that I don't really want to do? Like, how does it make me feel? And if it doesn't make you feel good, there's something to look at there,
That was my thing last year. I always set up a phrase or a couple of words or something to guide me through the year. And last year it was, how does this make me feel? Because, many of I'm a 7, and I always call the 7s the head cases. Our default is to go to how we think, right?
Yeah.
So it's a full-time job to try and drop from here to the heart center and talk about how we feel.
Yeah. And that's it. Exactly. That's like, everyone's going to come at boundaries from many, many different angles.
Right.
I'm a feeler, I'm a Cancer, I'm an energetic sensitive to emotion. So I come from the emotional place of boundaries and empowerment. And you can only really feel your boundaries when you're in your body. Boundaries are felt.
Yep.
And so if you're in your head or if you're in someone else's business trying to fix or please, there's no one home. There's no one home in your body. And so you do go over your boundaries because you don't even know where you are anymore, because you're not home to feel that you've gone over them. Does that make sense? So it's all about pulling, reclaiming, or empowerment is calling your energy back. It's calling your power back to here.
But don't you feel that it has a lot to do with respecting yourself enough to be able to call that energy back?
Well, yeah, it's like twofold, isn't it? Like, you give your power away because you're in someone else's energy. But in order to actually know what your needs are and your boundaries are, you've got to be in your body, respecting them and asking the question, because so many people don't even know what they need.
Yeah.
They're so busy, the people pleasing aspect, so busy out there pleasing, that if you actually, and I am going to say this, especially the women with families and children, where traditionally, we're just all out there doing and giving.
Yep.
And so when someone comes in and says, after, you've been a parent for 10 years, like, what do you want? What do you need? It's like, I don't know. And so actually, yeah, you're right. It starts with that. It starts with taking this radical responsibility for, what do I actually want or need? Because otherwise, if we don't, the energy that comes is resentment, irritation, anger, frustration, and we get mad. But ultimately, it's our responsibility to know what we need so we can tell others what we need. Does that kind of,
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, most of the people who are tuning in here are energetically sensitive, or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have been drawn to this kind of a presentation. And the 11s, the 9s, the 6s, the 2s, all very, very sensitive. And so it's really important to tap into what you choose to believe about yourself. How much self-worth do you have? If you don't feel good enough, you have to say, I'm choosing to feel not good enough, because that's how you choose to feel. It's not something that someone else has imposed on you. It's something that you've chosen to adopt. So you can change that. You can rise above it, or you can accept it for what it is. But I see a few people here are asking about how to find our life path numbers, and I wasn't really going to do that today, but I do have a video, and it's called How to Calculate Your Life Path Number Correctly. It's on YouTube, and you can check it out there. I'll post it down below. But simply, in my opinion, the best way to find out your life path number, to find out what kind of lesson you're here to learn, series of lessons you're here to learn, is to take your month of day, break it down to a single digit. If it's an 11, then we're going to leave it alone. Okay, if your month comes up as an 11, we leave it alone. It's a master number. You can do your day of birth. If it comes down as a 22 or an 11, leave it as a whole number. Otherwise, reduce it to a single number, and the same with the year of birth, and then add your 3 numbers together. So it's all explained in the video. There's more information on my website as well, AnnePerryNumerologist.com. You can check it out there. So, but I don't want to divert too far from the topic today, but I see a lot of people were asking that question. So yeah, there are some life path numbers that are more sensitive than others. That's one of the reasons that I opened up the Master Number 11 membership, which I'm going to change the name of soon. The Master 11 membership was intended to cater just to Master Number 11s, but I'm starting to realize that there's so much of a need for people to be supported right now. In 2022, holy, I mean, we got 3, in there. Yeah, very sensitive, very intuitive, very, like all of us have to be a little bit more diplomatic. And when you add the 3 2s together, it comes to a 6, all that responsibility and all that. So the topic that Fiona and I are going to be presenting is going to happen. Wait until I find my fancy banner. Right here. Monday, February 28th at 3 o'clock Eastern time is going to be the date time that we're going to be offering a presentation where we're going to be talking about how to stop giving your power away. You guys, if you're people pleasers, you're giving your power away. It's learning how to recognize what are the triggers that cause you to give your power away. Is it dominant men? Is it dominant women? little kids, like what situations or what kind of people, where are your triggers and how do we recognize them?
Mm-hmm.
And how do we comfortably set healthy boundaries? What do we need to do to keep ourselves in alignment with who we really are?
Yeah.
And otherwise, we're wearing masks. And then you guys all complain that nobody gets you. You know, I feel isolated. I feel alone. Nobody understands me. This isn't my planet. And that's all well and good. But half the time it's because you're wearing a mask. Understandably, you're
Yeah.
wearing a mask because you're afraid of really being seen for who you are. But then you can't have healthy relationships.
Yeah.
You're not showing people who you are.
Yeah. And it really is about dropping into the heart. I feel like the word discernment, like in Chinese medicine, different parts of the body, different organs, different endocrines hold different emotions and energies. And discernment comes from the small intestine. Discernment comes, and the small intestine is also linked. It's also linked to the heart, the pericardium, and heart protection. And so, it takes courage. It takes courage to set boundaries.
Yes.
And, you know, the liver is the place where we actually set boundaries. And often if we're angry and frustrated, it's really hard. It's really hard to set clear boundaries, because when you do set them, they're coming from the mind. And when we think of boundaries from the mind, they often feel harsh, like solid, like a brick, you know?
Yeah.
But the heart and discernment, when you start to discern what is good for you, what is not right for you, there's a flexibility and a fluidity to your boundaries. So, you know, like a tree is able to flow in the wind and be a little flexible, your boundaries don't always have to be this like firm, don't move, same boundary every time. When you're in your body and you're listening to your heart, you're able to be a little bit more flexible, and the boundaries become a little bit more fluid, you know.
Yeah.
Which feels better. It feels good.
Feels amazing. Feels amazing. So we're going to be giving our audience a lot of tips and tricks on how to manage this and how to stay strong this year, because this, like I said, 2022, a lot of 2 energy in there, a lot of hypersensitivity. And if you're already somebody who tends to be on the sensitive side, you're going to need some navigational tools, you know, and this is a really great opportunity. The membership is at the website that's being shown here, imperinumerologist.com, Master Love and Overview. You can check it out there. Fantastic special on right now. This is not going to last too much longer, I will tell you. I haven't got a deadline on the date yet, but you can join the membership right now for $65 for the year. That is going to give you 12 opportunities to hook up with us live. I have new guests coming in every single month to talk about different things that can support you through 2022 and just generally in your life. So we talk about nutrition for intuition. We talk about psychic development. We talk about how to keep your space clear, how to create sacred space. Like there's all kinds of topics. Many different interviews in there already. You, like I say, you can join for $65 a year or $11 a month. And you also get a free course valued at $47. So it's a bit of a no-brainer, right? But again, this is not going to be open for very much longer. But if you feel you want to join us, you can cancel anytime. But it's a really good opportunity to step into a group of like-minded people. We meet live on Zoom. It's a live chat on Zoom once a month, and you get access to the full library, all the PDF documents that go with all of the library, all of the MP3s that are in there as well. There's typically prizes given away at the live events, like all kinds of cool stuff going on. So my hope is that you'll really take advantage of it, because again, this price is not going to stay for very long. But in the meantime, I also want you to check out Fiona, because she's at freedomwithfiona.com, and you offer all kinds of programs and good stuff. You've got a new one. You're doing a little bit more work with the Akashic Records now, I think.
Yeah, I do Divine Soul Blueprint reading, which is where I read your soul essence, and then we look at past and present life karma that needs to be cleared for you to step into a deeper truth. And I also love working with entrepreneurs. So I do business coaching for entrepreneurs, and I also can read the Akashic Records for business, which is really fascinating too. So yeah,
for me, it's mind blowing.
It's fun. Yeah,
Really so good. Yeah. Yeah. So somebody is asking, how do you join the event on the 28th? You need to join the membership, and the membership can be joined by going right there. You just click on that link right there, and I'll put the link down below when we're done with our talk, and you'll be able to click on the links within the membership itself, and you'll be able to gain access to it. So you have all kinds of stuff to be able to check out before the 28th, but that's what's coming up. I've also got another event coming up in March where we're going to be talking about the importance of mindfulness. So, and how to stay mindful. My gosh, for those of us who are head cases, this is going to be a good one. I can't wait. So, yeah, there's all kinds of really great guests coming up in the future, but that's where you're going to go and take a look at it. Anybody else have any other questions that they want to ask? Give my power away to an undeserving person to make them strong. Yeah, that's so common. Yeah. I'm definitely interested in 1111. That tracks all repetitive numbers. Yeah. Excellent. All right. Well, Fiona, I am just so pumped that you're going to be my guest again.
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, I really look forward to it. And you can check us out. Fiona's got her website. You can check out all the different offerings that she offers there. I think you've got a Facebook page.
Yeah, Freedom with Fiona.
Yeah, Freedom with Fiona, your Facebook group, actually. Good. And likewise, you can check me out at Impaired Numerologist on Facebook. Obviously, I've got my YouTube channel. That's where most people are connecting with me. I'm offering 90-minute readings this year. And what else we got going on? There's some courses coming up. Oh, I've got two things coming up. Actually, I might tell you about. We've got the How to Speak Numbers in Your Business program. I have one spot left for that. You can check that out on my website. But it's talking about how to blend numerology into your existing business. So you can learn how to see your clients a little differently, a little bit more intimately. It's pretty amazing stuff. And then we have another event that Fiona is also going to be taking part of. We have the Just Do You business coaching program that's going to be starting on April the 12th. So that is when we're going to be teaching everybody who's already got an existing business or someone who's thinking about, starting a business. We're going to be teaching all the tips and the tricks on how to get you there and all the mistakes that we've made, that we've had, right? So I've got 4 experts plus myself who are going to be there teaching you about social media. We're teaching newsletters. Fiona's going to be doing the energetics of your actual business itself. Yeah, there's all kinds of really cool stuff there. So you can also check that out on the website. So I really hope that you'll consider joining us. So thanks, Fiona.
Thank you. So fun, always.
Yeah, I can't wait to have this conversation. And we look forward to seeing y'all at the event. And again, that is going to be, let me bring up my banner here. I'm getting really smart with these things. There we go. February 28th at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Hop on over to ImpairedNumerologist.com. Join the membership. You can cancel anytime. Entirely up to you. But I think you'll find it's pretty darn good value. And as I say, this is somewhat of a limited time in terms of the price, but that's okay. Take advantage of it for now while you can. Hope to see you there. Love you guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye for now.